Hello, everybody, and welcome to day 138 of the road to 2canchess.com. Today, we're currently sitting at 1928, so let's jump into our 10-minute game for the day and see how we do. Now, as the game is going along, if you guys enjoy the video, make sure to hit the like button. If you guys have not yet, check below, make sure you're subscribed to the channel, and that just makes that you don't miss any of my future videos. So today, we get a Carol Con, and it looks like we get a Hillbilly attack, which I haven't had to face the Hillbilly attack in quite some time. Now, if I immediately push out, I actually really like that idea, just taking the full center. It stops the move d4. And I think it's the downside to the Hillbilly. Now, after knight to f3, knight out, bishop here, and bishop out to defend, I think we're still doing okay. So let's take the full center with e5. Opponent plays d3, a little bit passive. I'm not seeing an immediate weakness just yet. I could push, which then stops this from coming in. We have takes. I don't love that development for us yet. Let's just start by bringing the knight out to c6. Knight to e2. Here, bishop to c5 makes enough sense. Our opponent castles. We'll play knight to f6 and then castle. And generally, I think I really like this position for us already. So knight to f6 adds another defender to the d5 pawn. There's not an easy way to strike back just yet. Bishop comes out, attacking here. If I just play the move d4, it does make the light square bishop stronger. But I don't really want to trade this off and just give him better center control. But I don't see a fantastic way to make this better for me anyways. Now, if I push out now and this comes over, long castles, or castles short, I give up this square, but this knight can't develop here. There's weaknesses on c4. What do I want to do? If I take and takes, do I have knight to g4? I do. And then the rook has to come up, or the king has to come up to defend. The queen could, I guess, come up. And then maybe we have queen to g5. So I'm going to take. I know I initially didn't like this move, but I think I see some other ideas to go along with it. Now I'm not castled. I don't see an immediate check. So I'm going to play knight to g4 here, going after the e3 pawn, and then maybe queen to g5. Now, of note, if I just do that right away, I lose my defender of this pawn. So I'm going to take the move. I'm going to go ahead and get castled. We do see h3 on the board. If I play e4 now and this comes over, I can drop back, and I believe that leads to some kind of attack. And if I go here and takes, queen takes, rook takes, this is still under attack. So let's push. Let's play e4. Let's play a little bit aggressive. Obviously, if this comes over, yeah, so we're going to take here. D captures e4. And the idea here is bishop captures f7, but after king to h8, our opponent has to defend their back rank. I could come king to f8, and then this becomes pretty tough to defend. King to f8, is there any discovered attack? Not quite. The reason I can do this, I believe, is because my pawn attacks their rook. and my king attacks their bishop. So they step forward, which, unless I'm mistaken, hangs a piece after rook to d1. Now here, rook takes f1 first. I'm going to play knight captures e3. And I have an option here. If I take here, I'm attacking the rook. So I'm going to go ahead and do that because there's no way to stop. This is still under attack. And right there, we have a really quick resignation. So I do try and mostly post these on the day that I make them, or I guess the next morning. So I did miss to say it on yesterday's video, but happy Thanksgiving to everyone. We move up to 1937, and let's look at the game review for maybe a minute or two here. So, really nice win. We beat a much higher rated player. Today we play with an 89.1 and our opponent played with a 75.5. So after the move e4, c6, bishop c4, and d5, we have a hillbilly attack with the Caro Kann. I played e5 here, which is wrong and allows our opponent to force an isolated pawn. I suppose here what I missed was the immediate strike back with d4. I guess after e captures d4, queen captures d4, and maybe knight to f6, this d-pawn is very, very weak and isolated, which is going to be tough to defend. Now, instead, our opponent played the move d3, knight c6, knight e2, bishop c5, castles, and knight to f6. Here, I probably could have tried to go for some more development with a move like maybe bishop to e6 just to solidify my structure. But alas, after knight f6, bishop e3, we thought for a while, and we played bishop takes e3. My other move here I thought about was the move d4, which I just thought made us a little bit too passive. Alternatively, I could also try and hold on to this bishop by playing a move maybe like queen to d6, or I could come straight back, bishop to d6. All these seemed logical to some extent, but I did like what I ended up picking. So after we got here, I played knight to g4. I probably should have considered castling first just to avoid any nonsense. But alas, after knight to g4, rook f3, and castles, we see the move h3. And here I played the move e4, what I thought was a nice intermezzo. Engine's best move is just to come back and play knight to f6 and play on from this position where this rook is slightly misplaced. But instead, after e4, d captures e4, d captures, queen captures d8, and rook captures d8. Apparently here I had to play knight captures d8 to maintain a defender here. I thought the back rank problems that this presents was a little bit more practical, but apparently this is just dead lost. Now, our opponent here probably had to play the move rook captures f7 first, at which point I'm definitely losing a piece because I have to move out of this. Otherwise, my opponent's just going to outright win this rook. So here, I believe the move king to h8 might be forced. Otherwise, maybe a move... Oh man, I don't even know what the defensive move is here. Apparently here I have to play knight captures e3, and I thought that rook d7 check, oh, I forgot the knight defends, duh. So here, and yeah, we're doing fine, but we're slightly worse. But alas, after rook captures d8, we see bishop captures f7. I find the correct move with king to f8 after almost blitzing out king to h8, and once again, this only works because the rook is under attack and the bishop is under attack. So after rook to f4, I played rook d1 check, which otherwise would be checkmate if it wasn't for the retreating rook move. Rook captures f1, king captures, knight captures e3. And here, instead of just taking the bishop and going into this endgame where I believe I lose the entire advantage, I played knight captures c2 first, which traps the rook in the corner of the board and continues to attack the light square bishop. Play here probably resumes with something like bishop to b3. Apparently, I can play the move e3 check first. I assume a move like king to f3, and then knight captures a1. And you play on from this position where you're simply up material, and you should win the game. But yeah, it feels good to finally start getting some wins after we had that streak of losses. And on that note, I will see you guys on the next episode.